Hey guys, welcome back. It's Friday. Yes. Woo! Friday's just another fucking day for me. I don't live my life. Yeah, I don't live my life on that Monday through Friday thing. Like Saturdays and Sundays are just as fucking busy as the rest of the week. If not, if not more busy, if not more busy, because I have more shit to do. But you made it through another week, and it is Real Shit Friday, guys. How's your week? How's your week been, Coco? Hell no. Hell no. So my friend just moved from Portland to Arizona, and I was talking to her yesterday, and she said it was 117 degrees. And I said, "Bitch, you got to be." I say you was out of your mind if you think I'm going to be out there in the sun. That's true. See, I'm kind of having the opposite problem. Earlier this week and a little past of last week, I got a cold because Seattle just keeps fucking one day it's 90 degrees, the next day it's 50 degrees. And my body's just like, oh, hell no, we're not having that. And then like I can't sleep in the heat. So I've been sleeping with my AC. I have like a portable AC unit I purchased because no one fucking believes in having AC in their houses here. And yeah, like literally, like to get a house with AC, you're starting off at like 3,000 a month. So we just got this little portable unit, and but the thing is, it's too cold sometimes at night. Like it gives off dry air, so like my throat started hurting from that. So I'm trying to figure out. I might have to do like a humidifier slash like plug in my humidifier and then plug in my AC unit at the same time. So frustrating. But today, our topic is actually super fun and it's super close to my heart. I know it's to yours. I had to post that on our Instagram because we were doing all things 90s today. What do you think about that? So this is actually like since my life is calmed down, guys. Like the court case is over. I'm getting back to normal, so I'm actually able to put time and attention into shit that I want to do, just like the podcast. So I actually took the time today to come up with a game, and we got like two types of games, and it's going to be really fun. So the first part of the segment I'm going to call 90s nostalgia, and so pretty much what it is, you and I are just gonna go over. I looked up on BuzzFeed, 48 reasons 90s kids had the best childhood, and I want to see what applies to us and what didn't. Because I know when it comes to like 90s nostalgia, it's very heavily a white-handed, where they'll be like, "Oh, all 90s kids did this," and black kids, we did not do that in the 90s. It's relative. So yeah, so the segment it's on BuzzFeed and it's called 48 Reasons 90 Kids Have the Best Childhood, and it kind of goes over everything. So we're gonna go through the list as much as we can, but then after that we'll play a game. How's that sound? Awesome. Okay, so number 48 was this thing called Dunkaroos. Did you eat those? See, I yes, it does. So I didn't have Dunkaroos. What I guess maybe because that was a name brand because it's Betty Crocker. What we always had was like the knockoffs that didn't have a name, like with like the pretzel sticks with cheese. Yeah, no. We were having what happened? We were having those. You remember those crackers, those sticks, and then you just dipped it into the cheese. Yeah, that's what we got. That was our Dunkaroo. So I'm okay. So that that qualified for you. Number 47 was my personal favorite, Gushers. I think kid, and this is another. I think Betty Crocker back in the day was killing it because these are these first two were Betty Crocker products. Did you eat Gushers growing up? I really that's another okay, Gushers were another thing. Like I had them as a child, but it was only when like I went to friends' houses and their parents actually took care of them. Uh, okay, so we have Dunkaroos, we have Gushers. I do still eat Gushers though as an adult. They're delicious. Very, very delicious. The next on the list is French toast. The you remember those little French toast cereals? No, we grew up on the big bags of cereal that were off brands. Like we may have not had French toast crunch, but we had sugary bread toast cereal. Yes, I forgot what those were called. That was I like the knockoff Fruity Pebbles too. The fruit what was it called? It wasn't called Fruity Pebbles. It was like Pebble Stone. Like it was like yeah, it was like Fruity Stones or some shit like that. Let's see what else. Oh, did you ever have a Skip It? So so anecdote. In Detroit, we didn't use Skip Its like you're supposed to, like you said, your ankle. No, we put them around our wrists and we would just like fucking try to hit each other. So yeah, Skip It. Oh, this next one is my personal favorite. If you grew up in the 90s, you played this fucking game in school. Can you guess what it was? No. Heads up, 7 Up. Oh, y'all weren't playing Heads Up, 7 Up in middle school. I think you're right because we only really play. I think we played maybe sixth. I know we definitely played fifth grade, but I think it started like deteriorate around sixth grade. We didn't do that shit. We did definitely didn't do that shit. One thing that don't see anymore that was super fucking popular in the 90s, play places with the ball, with the balls. I feel like that's. Did your family ever take you to like that was my place. Like it wasn't going to McDonald's for millennials now are just like, oh, it's gonna be good. But going to McDonald's for me when I was a child, like we didn't go through the drive-through. We went inside and played. Like that was McDonald's. Like it was like going to play and then eating and then playing. And then I feel like that's why 90 kids aren't as obese as millennials because we had at least some play with our fucking fast food. Did you go to play places? They still have the balls? Do they still have the balls, or did they clear out the balls and just make it like a? Yeah, I feel like no one has the balls. No one has balls anymore. Literally, too many kids getting sick. I guess. Um, no, we didn't. We didn't have Discovery Zone at all. I think it's countrywide, but y'all need to grow the fuck up and man up. We survived. We survived. Shit, you got trampled on. You need to swim your way to the bottom of the balls and come up in another area. Shake it off. Shake it the fuck off. My okay. So the next one is one of my personal favorites. Do you remember the orange VHS tapes from Nickelodeon? Yes. And then Rugrats Vacation when they went to Vegas. That was one of my favorite, the Rugrats movies. If you're a millennial, because I have a lot of millennial followers and fans and supporters, so they may not know what a VHS is, but back in the day, we had tapes, and I used to love tapes. But I did you okay? So speaking of tapes, did you have a rewinder, or did you have to rewind the VCR and hold the button? So your family was bougie. They're like, we're not watching VHSs anymore. There's this thing called DVD ROMs. You can have this. Yeah, so back in the day, guys, back in the day, if you don't remember, well, you guys, some of you will remember Blockbuster. And when you got a movie from Blockbuster, you had to rewind it, otherwise you would get a fee if you didn't rewind I was going to say disc, if you didn't rewind the tape. And a lot of poor people, like, you just have to sit there at the VCR and just hold the fucking button for like 30 minutes while it rewound. But then, like, your rich friends had like the fucking video rewinder where you just pop it in and it rewinds it. Yeah, we never got that. We never got that. Um, um it kind of yeah. I mean, it already has what your VCR rewinds. It's just stop being lazy. Um, ooh. So do you remember Digipets? Yep, Tamagotchis. Yep. I think it's like where you come from because when in Detroit we didn't call it. I don't think anyone could pronounce it, so so they just went with Digipets, but the company name is Tamagotchi. Yes, I didn't. The only Tamagotchis that I've ever gotten, I stole from people at school. So I was, it's probably somebody like me who you didn't put it in your trash. Someone picked it up off the table and stole it from, literally. There's something else that was like Tamagotchis. What was it? With the little music things. Like you had a snippet of the most popular song, and then you had like the little yes, but it wasn't even a full song. It was like 30 seconds to a minute of a song. And I remember having like the Britney Spears "Hit Me Baby One More Time," and I thought I was the shit. I was like, "Hit me baby one more time." Um, so moving on in remembrance of the 90s, do you remember in Coco in gym class the butt scooters? Yes, the parachute where you all had to work as a team. You had to work as a team and make like a big ass parachute cocoon. That was dope. That was dope. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, a butt scooter is pretty much like this platform that had handles on the side and four wheels. And we would play like kickball. We would play like kickball on our butts. Um, the funny anecdote. Funny anecdote. So when I When I was in sixth grade, this is more of the 2000s, but when I was in sixth grade, we had a kid that was in a wheelchair in sixth grade. So everything we did was on wheels. So like we had to play like dodgeball on the butt scooters because like he was playing and like the the coach wanted to give like a fair advantage and like include him. So he just made us all fucking like physically handicapped so our one classmate could play with us, which I think is super sweet. I think that's super sweet. And let's see what else is from the 90s. Oh, yeah, you can't. This is on the list. The Sanford Giant pencil sharpener. Yes, you do. It's the pencil sharpener where you walk up to the class. It's always next to the door, and you make sure you gotta crank that bitch, and then it always only sharpens one half of the pencil. So you up there, and then you got a brand new pencil. By the time you got it to the point where you liked it, half your pencil is gone. Exactly. I remember going like the pencil sharpener was like the runway. Like you didn't go up to the pencil sharpener unless you wanted to see your outfit. You're just like, look at my new feelers. Look at my Fat Albert outfit I just got. Fubu, fubu. We had in Detroit. I don't know if it was big in New York, but we had the puffer jackets with like the basketball teams on them, and like that was yeah, like in Detroit. Detroit was huge. Like to have a puffer jacket with the lions on it, and then like the windbreaker pants that matched was the shit. Like that's how you knew whose parent was a drug dealer and whose was. Are those slippers those slippers that are like sparkly and like usually colorful? Yes, yes. Oh my. So this second one, or the this next one on the list, I never actually got this. When I got adopted, my adoptive brother, who was my parents' son, had one, but I actually never like got one as a child. I just used his. But what I did get was like the female version of this, and that's creepy crawlers. I didn't get a creepy crawler, but I did get an easy bake. Yeah, and they weren't edible. They were just like, yeah, they weren't edible. It literally like the 90s, when I look back on the 90s, half our fucking toys should be outlawed. Because why the fuck did you think that it was smart to get a bunch of chemicals that a child has to mix together and then put it in a fucking 400-degree oven that they keep in their room and on the shelf and not expect them to hurt themselves? And like I remember with my brother's creeper crawler, like we were putting shit in the oven that didn't even belong. Like we were putting Legos in the oven to like make them melt, so like we had put this when Harry Potter was big, we had these little dog Legos and we wanted to make the dog from Harry Potter with the three heads. So what we did was like we super glued like two of the dog heads to the one dog Lego and like put it in the creepy collar machine so it can all melt together. And literally just ended up with a fucking pile of like plastic. And we were just in our room just like inhaling these toxic fumes. Oh, my easy bake my easy bake. So this is how good I was. So you guys know, if you didn't have an easy bake as a child, you got like the easy bake, and then you got like a recipe book and like maybe a starter pack for your ingredients to make your like muffins or cupcakes. So I ran out of the starter pack immediately. So what I started doing is just like that's actually why I bake so well today. I went and like actually started mixing batters like flour with sugar and like making cookies and making brownies, and I would just I'm gonna bring up something that you guys probably haven't heard of, but an encyclopedia. Look up recipes. You can look up recipes in encyclopedia. You can look up like older recipes, like or who created them rather, or you can just get your mom's Betty Crocker. My mom had a Betty Crocker cookbook. So and I'll like because a lot of my fans know my life story. When I say my mom, I'm talking about my adoptive mom, the white one. And when I say like, you'll know pretty much you'll know when I'm talking about my childhood, because anything didn't positive did not happen in that shit. Um, but when I was with my adopted parents, they definitely gave me an easy bait because they were like they were woke to the point where they knew they had adopted a gay man. And then when I was 7, when I was like, I think I was like 8 or 9. So they really tried to make me as comfortable as possible. Literally, if I'm talking about like drugs and violence, definitely not adopted parents. um, let's see. So we're gonna go on to candies. The number one candies for the '90s is Warheads, and I know Warheads. Yes, and I love some. I love me that green apple, sour apple Warhead mixed with the lemon. You mix those two together, you won't be able to open your mouth. It's just like no. Green pops are like as part of it, like but Warheads actually was the number one seller of the '90s. I know we're just moving through this list. I'm gonna get through this. I'm really excited to play this game. But um, on here next, we have like 20 more to go. On here next is Goosebumps. Did you read the Goosebumps? Okay, so I have like love hate relationships with Goosebumps. I love I love the books. The show creeped me the fuck out. And then when the show came out, I couldn't read the books anymore because I had too much of a visual. Because it's just like when you read a good book, and then like when you read the Chronicles of the Lord of the Rings or like the Chronicles of Narnia, and then you watch. I've read the Chronicles. I've read all the Lord of the Rings books and all the Narnia books, and then you watch the movies and compare it. It's like great, right? It's like, oh, that's great, but the books didn't have this had that. But with Goosebumps, it made me visualize the actual books. Like before the show came out, I was able my imagination was able to run rampant, and I made my own reality. But in the fucking when the show came out, like whenever I started reading, like the fucking intro song would play in my head, and like with the leaves, nighttime. Like, oh hell no! Mm-mm. I got too scared. I got too scared. What about you, Coco? No. Well, maybe I am. And we have a little intermission. I don't remember that episode. I don't remember that episode. But you know what? Okay, so what scared me more than Tales of or just scared me more than Goosebumps is my parents watched Tales of the Crypt, which was like the hood version of Goosebumps. Like, did you guys watch Tales of the Crypt? And like literally, it was the guy. Like the stories were creepy, but it was the actor. And down, like he was in this cave. Yes, the skeleton man. Yes, with the black guy with the crazy hair and the big eyes, and be like talking under like in a cave under a light, and he was so fucking creepy. He was so creepy. I could not handle it. Oh, this is something that all kids are missing now. I want to just see if you can pick it up. What? Yes, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. So if you guys don't know who Bill Nye is, I don't actually know if he's a scientist in real life. I think he is. Um, so that's how you knew you're going to have a good day in class. When the TV, back in the day, we didn't have projectors, we didn't have plasmas on the wall. One second. Hey, stop barking. I'm doing a podcast. It's real, guys. We got families, dogs, and shit, and they don't cooperate. I got wait once. Yeah, and I have a neighbor. Ugh, I'm kind of low key salty, but my neighbor just bought the condo next to us, and her uncle lives of the other condo on the other side of us, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I just bought my niece this condo for her graduation, and we're renovating it for her birthday." And I was like, And then they had the audacity to ask me if I wanted to help them paint. I said, "Hell no, must be nice. Must you get a fucking house as a graduation present? Must be nice. Must be nice." Grayson, stop it. So yeah, Bill Nye was the. One second, I have my Airbnb people coming in. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. I'm back. No, I heard you. I heard you because I have wireless headphones. I heard everything you said, but yeah, I didn't expect my Airbnb people to come back that soon. That's who Grace. But he did his job. He's supposed to protect the house and let me know when someone's home. So I can't really blame him that much. But sorry for the interruption, people. But yeah, Bill Nye, when we got the when you got to yeah, like I was saying, we didn't have projectors or flat screens. What we had was a big ass tube TV that was on a cart. Yes, that was on a cart. And my school was so broke that like the middle school portion we shared one TV. So like it was just raggedy as hell. It barely worked. Um, it worked enough though. Yeah. The next Exactly. And then I remember when we got because we had projectors before, and then after projectors when we got our first projection screen because a projector is not a projection screen. People get like if you did not grow up in the 90s, a projector is literally like this fucking telescope looking thing that they had to use this like translucent paper and you would write on it. They thought they were doing it when you got a projector, but that technology is so old. It's so old. Okay, so moving on. Let's see how much time. How long have I been? Okay, we got time. Um, moving on. You remember that logo that was just an S and everyone knew how to fucking draw it but me? Do you remember what I'm or maybe like a figure it could be a figure eight depending on like what you thought it was. But it was like everyone was drawing that fucking S thinking they were in the gang and they could do graffiti. And that really like they're like I they're like, I know how to do everything. Um, the next one is, oh, this was my favorite thing. The briefcase full of art supplies. I actually still have one too. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, that's so sweet. That is so cute. That's actually that's a really cute story too. Okay, so we got three more before we start our game. Oh, hands down. All right, the best computer game in the world. What is it, Coco? Yes, ma'am. What? What? How did you spend your free class time? How? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. What the hell was Amazon Trail? So I'm looking this up now, and the Oregon Trail was low key racist, but this Amazon Trail looks high key racist. Like high key, like it's like an Indian lady teaching this white kid how to get through the Amazon. Like high key racist. Oh my gosh, roller coaster type. Oh, any of like the Sims games, like the Tycoon Roller Coaster Tycoon or the Sims game, where you have to actually be. Yes, they were the best. So the last one that we're going to do before the game is before Adobe, before Photoshop. What do we have, Coco? Before Paint. Yes. No, Kid Pix. Oh, did you not use Kid Pix like in school? So it's pretty much Paint. It's pretty much Paint, but it was it's like they used what we now call like the gifs or the gifs, however you want to say it. It had those, but they weren't moving. They were just like little pictures of like people or eyes or cars, and then you can put them into your picture and like draw a house with paint, and then use the preloaded kit pics. The kit pics get gifs, that's what I'm going to call them, to put them into your picture, so you can like put a little family. You didn't have to draw out the family. Yeah, I, I loved kit pics. I loved kit pics. Yeah, go ahead. I never had. Okay, so I never had a light bright, nor that I never. I wanted one for more as a night light, but like, how do you play with a light bright? You just make a picture and just stare at it. Wow. All I have to say is wow. Okay, so moving on to the next segment, the last segment of the episode today is kind of like three true or two truths and a lie. So what I did was, oh, actually, before we talk about that, the last thing that I want to do, which is actually my transition. Do you remember infomercials for the things that you never would get because your parents didn't have credit? Kid Bops, Kid Bops. Oh yes, the old songs, and they had like we have 90 tracks of Marvin Gaye. I just when I see an infomercial, because it's rare that I see an infomercial nowadays. Between because I use Netflix and Hulu. I do watch TV, but then the shows I'm watching aren't giving infomercials, and the times I'm watching aren't giving infomercials. So I miss the time of infomercials because it was so nostalgic because I could just like, oh, man, I'm never gonna get that because my mom does. having a debit card. Like, and I always get was like the moon sand. I always wanted the moon sand. Never got that. I always wanted like it was always sensory integration shit. So it was always like the goo or like the foam, sticky foam. It was all that shit, and I never got that shit. I never got that shit. But why I'm bringing that up because that's my transition into how we used to get things. So we used to order shit on the phone and order it, but then as time progressed, we have this thing called eBay and Amazon, right? And so what I looked up is the 20th weirdest things ever sold on eBay. And I'm going to give you, we're going to do this for the next like 5 or 7 minutes. I'm going to give you three options. One of them is real, the other two are false. And you have to choose which one is real. I mean, if someone's listening to the live, y'all can join too. But yes, you are the only contestant. And I have the answers. So, number one, the weirdest thing ever being sold. It was actually a molded piece of bread that was supposedly belonging to JFK, and it sold for $14,000 for option one. Option two is a grilled cheese sandwich with the face of the Virgin Mary, which was sold in 2004 for $28,000. Or option three, a bundle of hair belonging to Princess Diana or Diana, and it sold for $48,000. Which one do you think is the right one? That's which one was B? The grilled cheese. And why are you going with that one? Okay, so yeah, that one. That actually, yes, was in 2004. Someone sold a piece of grilled cheese with the face of the Virgin Mary for $28,000. People, 28,000. So ding 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 ding. You are 1 out of 10 correct. All right, number two. So yes, I'm not that competitive. I don't give a fuck. Unless there's money involved, then I will cut a throat. Uh, okay, so number two is you have to pick which of these three are correct. Number one is a ghost in a jar. Uh, option B, or guess B, or number option A. Option B is a foot in a jar, and option C is breath in a jar, which has been sold for upwards of $50,000. And you are incorrect. I just came. It was a ghost in a jar. You were going to say it. You were about to say it. Yes, a ghost in a jar was sold to a man who at auction on eBay. He thought he had caught a ghost and he sold it for $55,000. No, no. I would have to do some research, but no. As of as of what I've seen, no. Okay, let's moving on. We got a couple more. Um, okay, so the number three is a I'm gonna stop saying numbers because I'm gonna forget what number I am. So the next one is A, B, or C. A Dorito shaped as a pussy, a Dorito shaped as the Pope's hat, or a Dorito shaped as the Pope's Bible was sold in 2005. Which do you believe is true? A Dorito shaped like a pussy, B, a Dorito shaped like the Pope's hat, or C, a Dorito shaped like a Bible was sold for in 2005. You are correct. It was sold for $1,200, and the buyer was a casino in Vegas, and they wanted they also bought the cheese. Yeah, they also bought the grilled cheese. I guess they have some type of memorabilia. So they've spent upwards. I'm between 2004 and 2005. It looks like they spent upwards of like $40,000 and just weird shit on eBay. All right, moving on. Then, and once again, if you guys are just joining in, we're talking about the weirdest things that have been sold on eBay. Number one, number one, option A, number four, option A is a grandpa was sold. Option B, a grandma was sold. Or option C, a grandchild was sold. You are incorrect. A 10-year-old from England tried to sell her grandmother on eBay, describing the relative as annoying but cuddly. The internet auction site eBay had to take it down the offer because it was the breach of regulations because it was considered human trafficking. Okay, moving on. So two for two. That's actually pretty good. Okay, so we have some celebrity items. Did Britney Spears Did Britney Spears' piece of gum get sold on eBay? Did Michael Jackson's glove get? Well, actually, that one did get sold on eBay. I'm not going to use that one as an option. Okay? So Britney Spears' piece of gum, Michael Jackson's glove, or bringing it on in, an item from the set of. Can you guess the movie? What's a good '90s movie? No. Independence Day. An item from a set of Independence Day was sold for $14,000. Which is the correct one? That is correct. That got sold. An artifact from Independence Day on the prop. Uh, you are unfortunately incorrect. A woman sold a piece of bubble gum that Britney Spears had chewed and spat out at a concert and put in her hand at the Wembley Arena in 2000, and the winning bid was $14,000. Okay, so we got about let's do five more. Um, which is incorrect? Which one is the truth? I should say. Did someone sell their dog on eBay? And when I say like their dog, like their whole dog. Did someone put their entire life up for auction, or did someone put their firstborn child up for auction? Which one do you believe is true? You actually are correct. You're right. Ian Usher put his entire life up on auction, including his house in Perth, his belongings, and the introductions to his friends in the trial at his job. His life was sold for $384,000, allowing him a fresh start. Oh, I mean, like that's dope. Like, hey, my life is shitty. I want to start fresh. But other people might think that your life is dope, so you could sell that bitch. Like, sell your house, sell your car. That should be a TV show where someone sells their life and then that person has to like fucking try to like live in it. That would be. I'm Patty. That's my idea. Do not take it. That is my idea. They kind of already did that with that movie with Cameron Diaz when they switched vacations. Did you ever see that movie? Yeah, that was trash. But like selling your life, that would be dope. But I feel like then like, do you also like get his criminal record? Like you have to take the negative too. You have to take everything that he had. All his, this is true. This next one is actually pretty fucking funny. Do you believe that someone sold unrained rainwater, unpoured rainwater, so meaning rain that's in the cloud and it hasn't poured down yet, an unassembled snowman, or did they sell a piece of hardened mud in the shape of a foot? Unfortunately, you're incorrect. Uh, yes, an unassembled snowman it has been posted on eBay. From Russia, the boat seller had posted a picture of a snowy backyard with a description of a 6 feet snowman. So pretty much being like, "Bitch, it snowed. If you guys want, buy a snowman." The highest bid, can you believe, was 10 million euros. Like this is like This is literally telling me like, Carlos, I thought you were a hustler, but you're not. Like these people were hustling. Okay. Did someone in 2009 A sell their child, two sell the name of their child, like or sell the name for their child, or three sell the liver of their child? You are correct. In 2009, a 36-year-old Arkansas woman by the name of Lavon Drummond decided to sell the rights of the name of her unborn child on eBay. So she actually ended up having, how do you say it, quintuplets? Is that five? She actually ended up having quintuplets, and the person who bought it paid $6,800 a piece, equaling an amount of over $41,000 to name all five of her children. But it doesn't give the names. I want to know what the names were. I want to know. Okay, so we have three more. Let's see. What was sold for more than $100 in 2012? About a case of Oreos, a box of Twinkies, or a pack of cigarettes produced in 1972. You are correct. In 2010, Twinkies said that I think it was 2010, but back like 10 years ago, Twinkies said that they were no longer making, or Hostess said that they were no longer making Twinkies, and the last box of Twinkies were sold for $100. What the heck? Uh, oh my God, I'm pretty sure everything lasts forever. It has preservatives in it. I don't doubt that. I'm not doubting that at all. I'm really like the amount of preservatives in that shit. I'm not doubting that at all. So we have two more. Um, A, was Justin Timberlake's half-eaten French toast sold? B, was Prince like the Prince the singer, was his signed album Purple Rain sold? Or three, was DJ Pauly from Jersey Shore, did he sell his sperm for upwards of $1,100? Yes, Justin Timberlake's toast was sold. It was his French toast in 2000 for a little under $1,100 because he left it behind. Uh, the singer left it behind at an interview with the New York radio station, and the leftover breakfast was put on sale by the DJ. And just really, and then the 19-year old bought it for $1,025, and he still has it to this day. Okay, alrighty. So the last one. So did someone sell? This is big. Did someone sell their parents' entire life savings on eBay? Did an 18-year old sell her virginity on eBay, or did a 90-year-old sell viewing her death on eBay? Are you sure? You are you're correct. You're actually correct. An 18-year-old British girl sold her virginity on eBay. It was bought by a businessman who kindly gave her the money she needed to start college without taking service. So they just went on the date. They didn't even take her virginity. I know, and she ended up getting married a couple years later. But no, how did you like that game? I said she ended up getting married a couple years later. It just showed her marriage. No, they didn't. They didn't. They didn't marry. They didn't marry each other. She married some young dude. But yeah, he gave her the money for college, so she got about like $50,000 out of it, and he didn't even take her virginity. So he just donated her $50,000. How did you like that game, Coco? You're like no, you're like five out. I think you're like 5 out of 7 actually. Five out of seven or four. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how many I said. I'm not because I don't give a fuck. Oh God, that Maxwell game was hard. Game was hard. Well, guys, this was a blast to the past and a look into the '90s. I know there are things that I miss. I miss how simple it was in the '90s. I miss like literally how simple it was. Music. I miss the music. Not necessarily in the movies for me, but I just miss the interactions in the '90s. I just miss like going on your bikes and riding with your friends or going hanging out, just the human interactions that the '90s gave us that we no longer have because we're all so obsessed with social media. So, guys, just go on and like delve into the past and look at the '90s. Um, that would be so dope. Coco, what do you have going on this week, or before people hear from you on Wednesday? Do you have anything going on? Skirt, skirt. I said just skirt, skirt. Get that money. Don't get that money, black man. Get that money, black man. I'm kind of on the same thing. This week I was my week of yes for comedy, so I did a comedy show Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. I have one I can go to tonight, but I'm just choosing not to, just because I went grocery shopping, I paid bills, I went to do Postmates. I'm a little tired, but I definitely did the other 3 days that I promised myself. And then what? Let's see, what else do I have? What else do I have coming up? I don't have too much coming up. I have a new video from cut.com coming up. Guess the person's sexual fetish. That one. Oh, and it's gonna be fun. I licked somebody on set. So that one was funny. And yeah, if you guys, I'm also posting all of my comedy shows on my IGTV. IGTV is this new thing that was launched this week, and I was kind of wondering like, how can I use this to the best of my ability? Because you guys know I'm already a YouTube star, so I already got YouTube down packed. But I was like, this new IGTV thing could really help. So instead of posting my comedy on YouTube, I'm posting it only on IGTV, so you can see my full sets. If you think, and let me know, like see my full 5 to 10 minute sets on IGTV. You can let me know how you liked it, what jokes you want me to do or not do. So you definitely go and check that out. And oh yeah, go ahead. So speaking of Savage Media Radio swag and games, didn't I win a piece of swag? I want my shirt. I want my yellow shirt. It's my favorite color. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I'll still rep it. I would still rep it. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm also excited for you to come. You're still coming to Seattle, right? Next month or like this month, rather? Wait, when's your birthday again? I would say, let's just do, I would do September. If I, One, for a couple of reasons. One, Chris and I will have our no contact order dropped like officially. We'll be able to like come and like show you around the city, so we won't have to worry about that. And then two, the weather is way better. The weather's way better in September, and people are like right now. It's People are just packed everywhere. So, and it's a lot. It's the summer, so honestly, if you were to come, I would probably come in September because you can start seeing the seasons change. That's when the season starts changing for us. Yeah, you can see like the orange, the reds, the greens, it's a little bit crisp outside, volcanoes. We can go skiing. We can go skiing and yeah, it'll be super fun. It'll be super fun. So let's plan for September. But keep me updated on that. Yeah, we'll plan for that. But thank you guys so much for joining us this Friday. I hope you guys all have a safe and wonderful weekend. What is it? Oh, we 4th of July. 4th of July. I don't celebrate that shit. Um, if you do, congratulations. Um, I have. Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, no, I already celebrated my 4th of July on Juneteenth, on June 19th. So I'll just be chilling in the house, just chillaxing. Maybe I might do Postmates because they're doing double delivery fees. So I might do some Postmates. So yes, actually, I've been doing it for exactly 29 days. I've made $600 and I only work an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. So I've made, let me actually, I just posted something. I just posted on my Instagram, actually, because I actually just got a $500 referral because I've had two people sign up and use my referral code. And I got that money. So I've had 79 deliveries and I've made about $600 off of the 79 deliveries. Um, and it's just really just been in between my time. Like I have an audition at 11 and I'll get done at 11:30, but I have another one at 4. I'll just Postmates for that 3 to 4 hours and then go to my audition or go do whatever I have to do before then. I love it. I absolutely love it. My only thing that I don't like, just like Uber, just like the rest of them, there isn't a phone number you can call. It's all via email, which I think, ugh, it's well, the only okay. So my first upset with Postmates just happened like 2 days ago. I had someone, and it's not just food that you're ordering, Coco. Like they can buy anything. They can buy anything. They can have you. I've been to Home Depot. I've been to Lowe's. I went and got toiletries. A lot of people buy their Apple products from the Apple Store and don't want to wait in line at the Apple Store, so they just make your ass wait in line for at the Apple Store. Yeah, it's not just food, it's anything. It's anything. And so I had this Apple customer and he bought like a MacBook, but then his credit card didn't go through at the store. And I waited there for an hour. And then the way the system is set up, I had to cancel the order because I couldn't get in contact with the customer. So I had like canceled it, and it put me on a 5 minute probation. And then it works just like Uber, it works against you for canceling and shit. So I was pissed off at that fact that I didn't have a customer service number to call and be like, hey, he's broke. I can't pick it up. I'm here. I waited for an hour. And then I wasted an hour of my time when I could have been delivering other shit. But other than that, it's been a godsend. It really I'm that's the only word I can use for it is a godsend because I've been able to make money that's right now untaxed unless I make more than 10,000 of it. And it's great. I love it. I love it. I love it. But ending with that is, do you want any last words, Coco? Perfect. Well, what do we always say every week? Remember to stay savage, guys. I love you so much. Have a good week. A weekend, rather.